Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy GW Hodges coming in once again on this beautiful evening. Today is Friday, January the 6th, 2023. We coming in to do what I do. I come to motivate, I come to uplift, I come to inspire somebody to reach their level of greatness. Listen, I believe each and every one of us was put on this earth for a purpose. God allowed our mother and father to come together, not just simply to lay down and to have intercourse, but God had a plan and a purpose for our lives. And that's why we are born into this earth. That's why we was birthed into this earth, is because God had a plan for our lives. And so my objective as a child of God is try to encourage somebody to get off the level of procrastination, to stop making excuses, and to get down to business. Listen, it's time out for lollygagging. It's time out for being passive. It's time to be aggressively chasing the things that you desire in your heart to have. It's time to start chasing this stuff aggressively. Sometimes we have to be aggressive. We can't always just be so meek and mild, and we have to sometimes be aggressive for the things that we desire to have in this life. So listen, I'm on the same topic again tonight. Before we get to the topic, do me a favor, like, share, tag a friend. Listen, you see what we got in the background today? Well, that's the key. The word is consistency. Consistency. Man, it's just something about showing up. Listen, showing up. Man, I'm going to tell you like this here. That's powerful in itself. See, some people don't even understand your story. You hear me? And they don't understand the things that you had to endure. So sometimes you don't even have to say nothing out of your mouth. The simple fact that you showed up and you keep on showing up in spite of life's issues, that gives some credibility to you, because people are watching. People are trying to see what you're going to do. But then when you show up all the time and you continue showing up time after time after time, they show us that you have some character about yourself. You have some resilience. You have some resolve, and you're in the fight. So listen, consistency. That's our word for today. I'm going to jump right on into it today. Consistency is the word that we're working with. We're on day number 2 at it. Consistency, and we talked about rule number 1 of consistency is consistency develops discipline, and it also develops self-control. Anything we do in this life that has some real purpose behind it, man, we have to be disciplined. I don't care what it is in your life, you got to have a level of discipline. And when you see, this discipline, you see a lot of disorder. Find a child that's not disciplined, you'll find a child that's out of order. Find a house that has no discipline, you'll find a house that's out of order. Find a community that has no discipline, you'll have a community that's out of order. Discipline is key. So that's part of the consistency. I'm not taking away from them, I'm just letting you know. So it develops. See, consistency develops. It's building something in you. It's building up your character. It's building up your fortitude. It's building up your strength. It's building you up on the inside. And it says it develops discipline and self-control. I told you some people before, listen, where people who can't control themselves, that's all it is, self-control. You got to be able to control yourself. They have places for people who can't control themselves. You know what they call that? Jail. Jail is for people who can't control themselves. So since you couldn't control yourself, then they put you in a controlled environment. That's all jail is. So it develops discipline. It develops self-control. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2, it builds a higher level of trust. It's just something about when people watch you constantly showing up day in and day out. Consistency have you showing up and really don't even know what to do. Is that I'm coming, but I don't know really what to do but at least I can do is show up. And so that's why a lot of people haven't made it. Y'all forgive me. Haven't made it to the level of success. They haven't reached the level of success in the things that they desire to have in this life, is because they won't show up. They'll show up when it's looking good. They'll show up when it's comfortable. They'll show up when the sun is shining. They'll show up when it's not an inconvenience. They'll show up. Consistency will cause you to show up when it's not convenient. Consistency would have you to show up when it doesn't work up in your schedule. I know it doesn't work on my schedule, but I promised myself this is what I was going to do. And then I have to, what he says, to thine own self be true. Listen, I got to be truthful to myself, and I got to hold myself accountable just like I expect from somebody else. If I go and buy some food from the restaurant, and when I get to the restaurant and it's not the quality that or they messed up my order, and I want to spaz out because my stuff ain't ready, but I want to hold them to the fire because of what I'm expecting from them, but I'm not holding myself to the fire. Listen, you have to be accountable to yourself. So consistency says, listen, I'm going to get up and I'm going to show up, man. I'm tired, but I got to go. I'm not feeling the best, but I got to go. I got some life issues going, but I got to go. And when you constantly show up, I'm telling you, it's building something in your character. And so it says that consistency, rule number 2, is building. Come on. The first word in number 1 is it develops. And number 2 is building. Listen, I got a question for you. What are you doing in this season? Are you building something or are you destroying something? Come on, somebody. I mean, are you a builder or are you a part of the demolition crew? Come on now. Listen, I've been a part of the demolition crew. I've tore up a lot of stuff. I tore up my own life. I tore up other folks' life. And I'm tired of tearing things up and trying to rebuild, because it's harder to build from ground level. It's harder to start from the very beginning because a lot of people don't show up for the beginning stages. They don't show up in the Genesis. They show up in the revelation. They show up after it's been revealed. Once they've gotten to see that, oh, it's going to make it, then people will show up. But consistency says, listen, I know I was dependent on a few people to come, but they didn't go, but I'm going to show up anyhow. Come on, somebody. And let me tell you something about consistency. Consistency outweighs perfection. Come on, somebody. Consistency outweighs perfection. People are always waiting for that perfect moment, their perfect timing, for the stars to align, for everything to just be perfect. If you're waiting for things to get perfect before you get started, let me tell you something. You ain't gonna never get started. You're never going to complete anything if you're waiting for everything to get in line and to get into tune. You have to move forward and say, guess what? I'm going, man. I got to do this here. I'm tired of burning daylight. I'm tired of wasting time. I'm tired of being at the same place every single year. And I'm frustrated by the end of the year, and I'm looking for a new year because I'm hoping that the new year is going to do something. And let me tell you something. I don't care because it's 2023 or not. If you haven't changed anything that you was doing in the year of 2022, if you haven't changed anything in 2023, your 2023 is going to look just like 2022. I hate to be a bearer of bad news, but I'm not going to tell you something just to make you feel good. I'm not going to tell you something that'll just float your boat. I'm telling you the God honest truth. If you want something different in your life, then you must do something different. And so it says, consistency, it builds trust. And so let me tell you how it works. So So I was giving an analogy to one of my partners earlier, right? I was talking about consistency and the power of consistency and how it works out. And I know people don't really listen to the radio station like they used to because we're streaming everything. We got, streaming systems on everything, so we don't use the radio like that. But you remember in the days of listening to the radio, when you would go to the radio, you would hear a song and the DJ would throw the song on. You'd be like, I don't even really like that song. And you would change the station and you don't like that song. And then you go over to another station, and then by the time you get a couple of songs in, they playing the same song that you skipped on the last station. And then the same thing happened when you go from station to station and station. And so at first you're like, man, I don't want to hear the song. And before you know it, what happens is you'll say, man, let me just go on and listen to the song anyway. And so now you listen to the song, and now something is starting to grow on you. I don't know if it's just the beat or it's the words to the song. And you're like, dang, now that song ain't bad as I thought it was, right? And so after you constantly begin listening to it, before you know it, the same song that you didn't like will be the same song that you're singing the lyrics to. The same song that you know it word by word. Why? Because they was consistent. That's consistent and constant run neck and neck. Come on, somebody. They was constantly playing it over and over and over again. And before you knew it, it had grew on you. Consistency works the same way. When you do it over and over and over again, it's repetitive. That's what separates the real driven people from the folks that are just trying to make something happen. So when you're trying to build something, let me tell you something, because it used the word build. If you go and talk to an architect and you tell the architect you want to draw out this blueprint, and you got a blueprint drawn out, and you got the architect, and now you're ready to build your dream house. Come on, somebody. And you got that boy suite, right? You got it with the master bedroom, with the jacuzzi, or with the shower, the walk-in that you can sit down in, and it's got jet streams coming from everywhere, and you got 2 or 3 bedrooms and 4 or 5 bathrooms, and you might got a pool in the back, and you got this whole vision of what you want to see. And you've taken the blueprint to the architect, and you are looking for the architect to build you a house. All right. Now, when you give them the blueprint, you don't expect for the architect to go out there today and get your blueprint today and build your house today, and you can move in it by tomorrow. It don't work that fast. But what you expect them to do is you expect them, once you've given them the blueprint, you've paid them to do the work, you expect them to show up and begin building on the house. And you expect them to work their full shift in an effort to get the house completed. And then they're going to go home. They're going to spend time with their families. They're going to do whatever they do. But on tomorrow, you're expecting them to come back. Why? Because the job is not finished. They began working on the project, but they haven't completed the project. Inconsistency have them coming back time after time again, and before you know it, when it's all said and done, the same picture that you gave the architect, the same blueprint that you spoke to them, now you're able to see the vision that was only an idea in your mind. And when you're consistent, come on, somebody, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's an idea that's in your mind. But over time, the idea comes from only being in your mind to manifest to something that is tangible. But you have to be patient in order to wait for the time to come so you can see what you was expecting before you ever saw anything but an idea in your head. I'm trying to talk to somebody today because somebody is expecting this year to be the year of a financial blessing. They're expecting this year for some doors to open. They're expecting this year for a breakthrough to happen. But the thing about it is, it's only an idea in your mind. And you have to consistently work on the idea that's in your mind. And if you work on it over and over and over and over again, that was once an ideal in your mind will now be manifested into something that you see. And that's what consistency does. Consistency says, guess what? I see it. Listen, everybody else don't see it, but I see it. And I'm visualizing me being in the house. I'm visualizing me being in that position. I'm visualizing me having the thing that I'm working for, but I don't have it yet. But I'm working on it. Come on, somebody. And consistency says I gotta show up. Listen, you don't want the doggone architect to tell you, say, man, I'm tired today. Man, I ain't finna come over there and work on your house. Man, you ain't finna hear that. You listen, dog, listen, you better figure out whatever you got going on, but I'm gonna need you to get up over here because you got a project to complete. Listen, that's how you gotta look at your life. You gotta say, man, I have a project that I got to get completed. I got to complete this project. I'm tired of starting projects and not finishing them. I have to complete my project. This is the year of completion. This is the year of manifestation. This is the year that it won't just be an idea in the head, but it's going to be manifested into something that is tangible. Oh my God, that's some good stuff right there. It's going to be manifested into something that's tangible. Oh my Lord. And I see it in I see it in the vision. I dreamed about it. I was hoping for it. I was praying for it. And that's good as well. But I got to be consistently working on it. Come on, somebody. Listen. And as this is what and when after you done went to the architect and you've given them the blueprint and they begin working on your dream home, guess what else you do? You start now, let me start going to the store and start picking out what I want to be in the house. I'm picking out my furniture. I'm picking out the drapery. I'm picking out the color scheme. I'm picking out what I want to have in the house because I've envisioned it. Come on, somebody. I've envisioned it. Come on. I've had an inner vision. I've envisioned it before I actually outer visioned it. You got to envision the vision before the vision become visible. Ooh, my. That was a word right there that was worth getting. You have to envision the vision before the vision becomes visible. But it takes consistency. It takes effort because when you're building something, it takes time. But understand this here. It's going to come to pass. This year, I want to see you win. This year, I want to see you thrive. This year, I want you to get everything that you said that you wanted. Not what I want for you, but this year, I want you to get everything that you said that you want. I want you to have it. But you got to be consistent in your efforts of showing up. And if you keep on showing up, it's going to be some other folks that's going to see what you're doing. And it's some folks going to buy into what you're offering because they see the effort that you're putting in, being consistent to take it from just an idea in the head and watch it manifest into something that is tangible. Listen, my time is up on this Friday evening. I'm not going to hold you too long. I just want to talk with you for a minute. It's your boy GW Hodges. You know what I do. I come to inspire. I come to uplift. I come to motivate. I want to see you win. Listen, do me a favor. Like, tag, share this information with somebody. It's some good stuff. Listen, I'm going to say this in closing because it was so good that I got to, because listen, that's what the Holy Spirit just gave to me. I ain't even have that in my notes, but I got to write that down. He says you have to envision the vision. Come on, somebody. You have to have an inner vision first. You have to envision the vision. You got to see it on the inside before it becomes visible on the outside. You got to envision the vision so that you can see what it is that's on the inside. Listen, you be blessed. I want to see you here tomorrow, Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Share, tag a friend, bring them along. We're talking this next few days over consistency. Show what we want to see you there. Listen, I love you. God bless you, and ain't nothing that you can do about it. Peace.